And we're up and running. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode on the Green Ninja Overtime Podcast, the only podcast in the world with no editing, no BS, all raw footage filmed and uploaded just like that. Welcome back, guys. Very excited for today's podcast. I hope you guys enjoyed the last video where I hammed out multiple podcasts in a row. I've been trying to definitely find more topics and interesting stuff to cover, which is why we are here today. We got some very exciting stuff that we're going to cover. This is going to be an extra long podcast, super detailed, in-depth video, and be sure to stick around. So grab some popcorn, grab a drink, pop a squat, and chill out with me. So, that's right. We are going to be discussing the new iOS 14 from Apple that was released at their keynote event last Monday. So it's pretty much been a little over a week. And at the Apple keynote event, Apple talked about a lot of things. If you guys didn't see that live stream, go check it out on their channel on YouTube. They pretty sure they streamed it live at this point. But yeah, the new WWDC 2020 conference, their keynote announced some major stuff, as always, products and everything. But what I want to cover is the iOS 14 software. As y'all know, right now, we are running the iOS 13, on the iPhone 11 Pro Maxes. So iOS 13 is really good. It's really the pinnacle. But iOS 14 is going to have a completely new layout, new user interface, and it looks quite both cool, scary, and a little bit different. I don't know how I'm vibing with everything, but they kind of took on what I like to call the Samsung home screen look. So check it out. So we're going to read the whole article, everything on Apple's site right now. Let's, oh, wait, I got to switch some of my tabs over, guys, because I have no clue what I'm doing. I wasn't prepared. My bad, yes, I apologize for that. So we're going to switch over. Perfect. And we're going to check out our screen. So right here, bam. From Apple's website, this is the preview. There's an overview. This is the overview, and we're also going to check out all their new features, which is going to be the detailed list. So right here, we have what appears to be iOS 14 first look, and this is on the iPhone 11 Pro, or just with no home button, right? And as you can see, we got really, really cool screen. As you can also see, this is what I meant by their Samsung user interface, because there's these tabs right here, these what they call widgets. The widgets are now able to be placed on your screens, and I don't know, I don't like it. I feel like it's too cluttered. It takes up too much of your space, but as you can tell, it looks more like a Samsung user interface look. Also, with the apps, it's now in organized tabs, and apparently if you click on the apps button, it'll take you to this page where it shows every single one of your apps, and I don't like that either. I feel like it's too disorganized, and I feel like they took on too much of a Samsung approach. But regardless, we're going to check it out. So iOS 14 looks brand new, feels like home. I don't know about the second part. It does look brand new. But it's coming this fall. It has been no official release date or launch date yet, but based on previous iOS updates, we can safely assume that it would probably be released between September 14th and September 18th. So between those dates is when I would assume that this new iOS update would be coming out. However, it says, iOS 14 brings a fresh look to the things you do most often, making them easier than ever. New features help you get what you need in the moment, and the apps you use all the time become even more intelligent, my bad, more personal and more private. But as you can see, you can watch the keynote there. So, experience, we're able to do more with our iPhone, apparently, as with what Apple says every year. And iOS 14 reimagines pretty much a lot of features and everything. So one of the biggest thing, widgets on the home screen. That's right. Look at all these. It looks so cluttered. I'm not a fan of it. But if you're a Samsung user, you're used to this popping up. So therefore, for Samsung users that are trying to move into using Apple products, this would be right up your alley. This would be perfect. So basically, the widgets have been redesigned to give us more information, to see more of the widget in detail without having to scroll down or go to certain areas. You can see it all from your screens on the home screen. So, and we could add different, as you can see with this picture right here. We could add like multiple widgets. With this picture, we could add one. We can set our own layout basically and choose how we want everything. We can adjust the sizes, the order it's displayed in, and everything. And apparently there's also a smart stack of widgets which intelligently curates all the apps you use most, and they display all the notifications settings just for you. It's like scheduled at the right time of day for everything. So yeah. And this is the new design I was talking about with the app library. So apparently when you click on the app library, it brings you to every single app you have downloaded. It organizes all your apps into basically one tab and, well, one page, and then you have separate tabs for each category of apps. So therefore, I don't know. I feel like this could be handy, but I don't think I really like it that much. Not to mention, this is a cool one that I like. Compact calls. So whenever someone calls you, it takes up your whole screen. Everything is locked up. You either deny the call or answer. But right now, it just displays up top, and that's all it is. It doesn't take up your whole screen. Everything is cool. So therefore, really, really cool feature. And just a little heads up, guys. We're also not only going to be discussing iOS 14. Why this is going to be a long podcast is because we're also going to be discussing the Pad OS, so the operating system for iPad, and the Watch OS 7 for Apple Watches. So therefore, a lot of things are coming in. So we also have picture-in-picture. So therefore, we can now, which I love this feature, since I'm always on FaceTime with a lot of people and on calls, basically we can watch videos and continue our FaceTime calls when we use different apps. So I could watch YouTube and everything. Everything is amazing. And apparently I'm pretty sure they're going to do something with the audio to keep it like in sync or whatever, right? So really, really excited for that one. Definitely curious. So messages. You can now have pinned conversations on your messaging apps. So therefore the people you talk to most, pin those text messages so that no matter when they text you, their messages will always appear first. You can also arrange that order. So as you can see, you can arrange how many people you want, pin them up there, and those are going to be your priority conversations. Group photos. You could also give your group conversation visual identity by adding a photo or memoji and choose an emoji. So something, I'm not sure what it is, but sounds cool. Mentions. So now you can basically tag people in your group chats or in your text messages, mostly for group chats. So if you really need to get the attention of someone, you could tag their name and it'll send them like an alert or notification. So it's just like with social medias, but instead you could do it on text now. You also have inline replies. So if you're in a group chat's gonna be crazy. My group chat is always blowing up, where you have so many conversations going on, and sometimes when we respond, we don't know if whose conversation we're responding to. So it can be confusing. Now, you can start a whole conversation within a conversation. So it's conversationception? I don't know. But basically, all you can do is you can reply to each of their messages individually, and it'll alert them, and you could start a conversation within that text. So therefore, it won't get confusing. A lot of things are more organized. So, pretty cool, right? Next up, we got more Memoji styles and stickers with a whole bunch of different things, accessories and everything. I don't really use the Memoji function, but it's cool, right? Little things, right? Little things. Excuse me, guys. So, we got map. I don't use Google Maps. I use Waze, and I love it. But for Google Maps, I feel like has a really cool design now. So, we got like directions as usual for maps to get cycling directions using bike lanes, paths, and roads. We can see elevation, busy streets with huge traffic, stairs, steep passages. So everything is more detailed. And they have added support for electric vehicles, so like your Tesla or anything. So if you need to charge your car, they can plan out a route for you with charging stations incorporated along the way. So it's kind of like with the Tesla built-in computer, like the little big old iPad screen on board the Tesla. It's smart like that, but now it's integrated into this Google Maps app. So therefore, that's pretty cool. If we expand it, so if you guys want, you guys can pause the vid here, pause the podcast, and you could also check out. And not only does it take you to just a charging station, it takes you to compatible ones with your vehicle. And I guess that's really cool. That's very helpful. That way you don't have to look around for a charging station. And I assume this would be especially used for people like in Cali or anything. Anybody who owns like electric vehicles, right? There's guides right now, so therefore, depending wherever you are in the world, there's going to be guides for good places that you could eat, shop, and see explorations. So therefore, really, really cool. It's kind of like a tourist thing. Quite exciting. We have a dedicated translation app now also for Apple devices. So now you don't have to download like Google Translate or anything. Basically, we have a new app and it allows us to translate and have conversations across 11 different languages. And you could also speak into like your phone mic and it will automatically translate what you said into the other language, and they could speak back in their language, translate it back to yours. So therefore, it's really a both-way thing. Pretty cool. And you could also download the language, so then therefore you could keep your translations private and secure without having to turn off the internet connection, data, whatever, right? And again, if you guys want to read more about this, you guys can pause the screen right here. I'm going to try and get through this as relatively quickly as possible. We can also see our favorite conversations, interactions within the translation apps, and favorite translations. That way we can refer back to it easily. We also got attention mode, which apparently enlarge translate text and landscape view, making it more easier to read. So therefore, it's just a wider view. That way people can, read it easier. And Siri. Yes, more updates to Siri. So now there is a more compact design for Siri, and as you can see, there's like a little tiny Siri home button logo. So now I assume that when you hold down on the home button, it won't like bring up a whole like dark screen where Siri activates, but instead it's just gonna be a tiny little button right here that records your audio, and these little tabs just pop down like notifications and gives you the answer that you need. So compact design, nice. Next thing, greater knowledge. Siri has over 20 times more facts than just 3 years ago, so I guess more stuff has been implemented. Web answers. This is a huge one. I find this one incredibly useful, especially if I'm asking most of the time web-based questions. They sometimes can't get answers for that. It's sometimes inaccurate. But now, Siri has a broader search engine, and therefore it can find results from not only one source, but it can find results from multiple sources on the internet. We can also send audio messages with Siri now. Normally, before, you can only ask Siri to text this person, hey, I want to say this. But now you can send audio messages as well. That's helpful, right? Hands-free stuff. More hands-free. So, yeah. We have a redesigned home app for your home, and this basically allows, I don't use it, but this allows you to control your smart home devices like your thermostat, your lighting, and everything, right? Your doors and everything. So therefore, you can, let's see, you can also set it to customize how you want them to work as well. Like if I arrive home, turn on the lights in the kitchen, or when I leave, turn off the lights in the master bedroom. So really, really cool. You have more options right now. There are dedicated apps for each company with their own products, but I don't know. I don't use the Google Home, sorry, not the Google Home, the Apple Home app, but seems useful, seems very user-friendly as with most Apple products, so therefore, for those of you guys that do use that, you guys will be getting newer functions on there. We also have adaptive lighting. Set your lights to change color temperature throughout the day, so that therefore just allows you to, again with the home app, do a bunch of different things. We got activity zones, which basically allows you to set a zone for your security cameras if you have any for your home, and if anybody walks into that zone or that area right here, that will send an alert. But anything besides outside of that, that won't send an alert. So quite cool. You can manage your security features and functions. And facial recognition for your like doorbells and basically your locks on your doors that has a webcam on, like Nest or anything. You could automatically unlock the door, lock the door, and They could also have facial recognition for which person. So if a frequent guest comes over to your house, you could set it on there so that the whole map recognizes their face and they say, hey, you know, this person's here. What do you want me to do? So therefore, you guys can check all that details out. After that, we have Safari. Safari has a translation mode as well now. So therefore, when you click on the font on the upper left-hand corner, you will be able to see this to translate to whatever country your language is. And it'll translate the whole webpage to that language so you could easily read every information on there. And this doesn't work for every website, but compatible websites, you'll see this icon pop up and you'll be able to do it. So, and performance, right? We got performance now wise. So therefore, Safari uses a 2 times faster JavaScript performance than Chrome on Samsung device on Androids. So I guess that's cool. Again, Safari's pretty quick already, but always can be better, right? Improved on. And we have password monitoring. So the Safari app will notify you, hey, this website might not be safe, or this password would not be strong enough. You might want to go for a new one. So there's that. Privacy report. This just allows you to, like, Safari to notify you what website has been doing what when you're visiting it. This is very exciting. I really love this. Car keys and CarPlay. This just adds more feature on there. And now the huge thing is you can unlock and start your car with your phone. And the best part is, if your phone dies, it has an additional 5 hours of connection to it. So if my phone's dead and I need to get into my car, I still have 5 more hours that I could use that function. So you guys can check it out here. And this works on Apple Watch as well. So I'm pretty sure that that'll be implemented into the Watch OS 7 update. Really, really cool. And you can also start your car on a reader or a wireless charger, because the key is connected through your phone already. Should I grab some water after this? Getting dry after I keep talking like this. We can also share managed keys, so if you guys want to like be able to share your cars or vehicles with your friends or family, you could send the key to them and they can unlock your car. And you could set certain restrictions on there too. You can also revoke the key privileges. Certain restrictions, like especially for teenage drivers like us, you could set speed limits and put a bunch of limitations on. So it's a little bit safer. Love how Apple's taking like the Tesla route for this car thing. Power reserve works for up to 5 hours even after your iPhone battery runs out, which is great because phones still die regardless of how good the battery's getting. We can also create new wallpaper and new apps in CarPlay for vehicles that support that, which is like parking, electric charging, and quick food ordering, stuff like that, right? Earpods. Earpods have also been improved. We have spatial audio included now, so we basically have surround sound in both sides, and basically if you like turn your head, move your devices, everything, you get a little cinematic experience, which is kind of cool. Battery notifications. This is very helpful because I really like this. I hate always having to scroll down or click on my earpod saying, hey, how much battery is left. Now, if it runs low, it'll show a notification saying, hey, you should probably charge your earpods now, or it's time to charge your earpods. We got automatic switching, so if I'm done with a call on my phone and I want to watch a movie on my iPad, I can automatically just turn on my iPad and it will connect and swap right over to that. I'm interested to see how that works out, but I love that function. So that's really cool. Headphone accommodations. So let's see. You could accommodate soft sounds by amplifying or whatever, tune for individual hearing. So you could basically adjust all settings like with a real speaker and a subwoofer, which is pretty cool. Probably not as much settings, but still very helpful, right? You could also have audio sharing for Apple TV. So for all you Apple TV users, that's cool. App clips. This is just usually small things, right? App clips basically lets you pay for things a little bit easier, or for example, if you're on a website, like right here, it says with Etsy, if you're on Safari using Etsy, it'll probably just pop up saying, hey, maybe you should download the app and use that instead. So there's like these little notification saying, hey, use whatever, right? Trying to make things convenient for you. Apple's always trying to make life easier. So go ahead, you guys can read that right there. And it just basically uses through NFC chips or QR codes. You got fast loading. Let's see what that is. So app clips, small in file size. So whatever this function is, it seems pretty simple to use, but I don't know what about it. But looks cool, right? Don't know enough of that. Privacy. And let's see what we have for that. Privacy information on the App Store. And it'll tell you what apps you want to download before it'll let you know, hey, this app might use data to track you, or this data will be linked to you, whether, like it says right here, like whether it be financially or just accessing your location, contact information, whatnot. So therefore, it's just more detailed. I love it. Recording indicator. Now, when you record anything, like screen recording anything using our mic or camera, it doesn't like have like the red recording bar that usually blinks or shows up on the top of the page. Now it's just a tiny yellow dot, and also that works for apps as well. Apps can you can also use that to determine if an app is recording you. So like Facebook, because I saw a meme like recently the other day. All right. Upgrade to sign with Apple. Easily switch to sign with Apple and log into participating apps. You'll keep the account you're ready to use, but have one less password to keep track of, which is pretty cool. It's like one of those softwares that allow you to like use one password for every account that you have, but instead this is with Apple. Approximate location. If you don't want to share your approximate location, if you want to share your approximate location than your exact location, this would be a good function for it. So if you're just like using weather apps or local news, you can just set an area, like the city you're in, instead of saying your actual address and exact location for it. Finally, there's apparently, again, more. App Store. App Store just has more stuff. There's improvements to Apple Arcade with AR. There's the new AR Kit 4 as well. Basically will be launched with that, and it will work with all devices with the A12 Bionic chip or later, so I believe that supports iPhone 8 and above. So therefore not too much interesting stuff. You guys can pause and read there. However, one thing I will read out, since I am a vlogger and an influencer, is cameras. Cameras are main thing, very important, and apparently it's faster to take photos now. There's no lag, there's no delay time, and there's a new exposure compensation control. We can lock an exposure and lock a camera focus for a shot, anything like that. So there's going to be more information on that, so stick around, guys. Game Center redesigned. We got a new health app, notes, photos. So just mainly upgrades to the basic apps, reminders. We could set for a mail app, however, we could set a default email and browser app. So therefore, we could set third-party app as a default email or browser. Voice memos is also redesigned. We get a new enhanced recording feature that lets us improve the sound quality of our recordings with a single tap. So some sort of editing magic there. And the weather app. So everything is a little bit more in-depth now. So iOS 14 with compatibility, right? They are compatible with all of these devices right here. So iPhone 6s and above is all supported. Yeah, 6 is still supported. The iPhone 6 is still a great phone, guys. No matter what, it's still a great phone. And obviously they're doing something right since they're still supporting it. They also support the iPhone SE first and second generation and the iPod Touch 7th generation. So that's pretty cool, supporting other phones on there. And we got a bunch of other stuff right now for like developers with iOS 14. And now we can discuss the new iPad OS, which is the new iPad software. We also got new Mac OS as well. I'm not a Mac person, so I'm not going to discuss that. And of course, watchOS 7 with our new operating system. So that should be very exciting. Let's take a look at all that. So, to conclude iOS 14, these are all our new features. These are everything in detail. We got our widgets right here. Excuse me. I'm really dying right here. We got our app libraries. We got our compact UI, user interfaces. We got our search stuff, messages, Memoji, maps. So these are all more detailed things for everything. Translation, Siri, home, Safari, car keys. So more on the car and everything. We got CarPlay, AirPods, app clips, privacy, accessibility, App Store, Apple Arcade, AR, cameras. So now this is the big thing. We can shoot photos up to 90% faster at 4 frames per second. The time to take the first shot now is now 25% faster than what currently is available. And portrait shots are up to 15% faster. We can also toggle features to change the video resolution and frame rate in video mode. So now I don't have to go into you don't have to go into settings on the camera and change your frame rates, your set resolutions, everything. We could do it all in the camera app, which is great. That would be so much more helpful. We can take quick videos in photo mode on all these phones right there. Updated night mode capture. Now it uses a gyroscope to provide a guidance indicator and help your shot be more steady. We have exposure compensation control, capture burst photos, and quick take video with volume buttons. So now you could take a shot without having to press the actual button. Mirror photos taken on front camera, so you can mirror your selfies. QR code reading enhancements. It just makes it easier to scan the codes. And it doesn't require a completely flat surface. FaceTime, picture-in-picture, all that other good stuff. Eye contact, you guys can read all that. Family, files, health, international stuff, and this one's actually pretty useful. So now there's bilingual dictionaries included with all these languages right there. We got a Wobai keyboard for China, so therefore you could write stuff, I guess, I don't know, even though I'm Chinese. You got new fonts for India. We also have auto correction support for Ireland and Norway. A redesigned Kana keyboard for Japan, so you guys can write your dialects easier. That was the word I was trying to find. Keyboard, music. So therefore, we got better things. I'm excited to see how that turns out. Notification center, notes, photos, podcasts. That's right. There's new podcast updates. So once these podcasts hit Apple Podcasts, you guys can listen on there. We're going to have to find a way to get that on. We got reminders, settings, voice memos, weather, and again, just the compatible stuff. So that is the brief overview of iOS 14. Time to move on to watchOS 7. So, actually, sorry. iPadOS. We'll go down from big to small. So, let's see. We have some new experiences for iPads and more enhancements. It has updates to the Apple Pencil, apps, AR, and a bunch of other things. Experience, let's see, redesigned widgets, same thing like on the iPhone, app design. You can search, a bunch of other things. Compact calls like on your phone as well. Scribble, let's see what that is. You have to put Apple Pencil away to do other things like write by hand in a text field across the Apple iPad OS, and your words automatically convert to text. So that's pretty cool. And you could convert your handwriting. That's cool, I guess. Write in any text field. So that should be somewhat helpful for people that don't want to like type down or do anything. Scratch to delete. Circle to select a word. So you got more enhancements and features and functions to the Apple Pencil. Notes, smart selection. You got paste handwriting as text. Very cool. You guys can read more about that. Shape recognition. That's cool. Data detectors. Augmented reality. So it also uses the new ARKit 4, and with the new 2020 iPad, if you guys haven't seen the video, check it out. The new 2020 iPad Pros features a LiDAR scanner basically that is designed for augmented reality apps and all things AR related. So with not only ARKit 4 being added to the iPhone and iPad, but adding it onto it with the LiDAR scanner, that just made it to a whole new level. That just took it to a whole new level. I don't use AR, but it can be really useful. I'm not gonna lie. So therefore, as you can see, some examples right here, and more details. Messages, you could also do the same thing like on iPhone, because iPad's very similar to iPhone, just with a bigger screen size. You guys can have pinned conversations, group photos, all that. You can have inline replies, so basically replying to a certain text individually and starting whole conversations within that. Mention people by tagging. New emoji, stuff like that. Maps, still the same. Nothing's really changed with the whole map. That's still the same as with everything else. Same with the Safari, AirPods, Siri. So pretty much everything is still the same. Privacy, like we went over with on iOS 14 for the iPhone. So therefore it has a lot of things pretty much similar. Only differences is that it supports more stuff for like your Apple Pencil and most likely your Apple keyboard as well. So yeah, check those video guys out if you haven't seen them already. Alright, iPad OS compatibility stuff. You can also check out the full list. But the iPad OS is compatible with all iPad Pro models, from the 9.7 inch right here up to the 10.5 inch right there, and all the iPad Pros are compatible from the first all the way up to the most current 4th generation. So first, 2nd generation, all compatible, and 3rd, 2nd, whatever, right? All the way up to 4th generation is compatible. However, for regular iPad, they support all regular iPads from 5th generation up, all the way up to the 7th, of course, the most current one. And for the minis, the iPad Mini 4 and the iPad Mini 5th generation is supported. iPad Air 2 and iPad Air 3rd generation is also supported as well. So my old iPad is still compatible, which is quite a bit. And that is what we have for iPad OS. Super short because it's super similar to everything that the iPhone has. Finally, to end it off, we have the Watch OS 7 for the Apple Watch. Take on the day, bring on the night, make the most of every waking moment with innovations to watch faces. Put your watch to work on the night shift with the all-new Sleep app. And let's just start. Okay. So we have a night mode now, basically on iPads or on our phones, which is pretty cool. So we have more customizable, more features being added to watch faces, so it's adding more customizability for your watches. And the Chronograph Pro has room for customization and a lot of different things you can do. We get more from every app from what it says, so we get more details for individual apps that we use the most. So that's pretty cool. Face sharing, and let's see. So you could share faces you've created by texting, emailing, or posting a link online. Don't know how that works. Don't really understand that, but that's a function. Find faces in the App Store. So there's an edit team in the App Store that has watch faces made for you, apparently. So you could kind of find what other people made, I guess. We can get faces online and add them to our watch. So therefore, a lot of things are being added for face. So a lot of customization for the Face app, because that's pretty much the main thing, right, for Apple Watch. The Face app, the little home screen, is what's most important to you, describing most of the features and the details. And finally, you got also a Sleep app. And let's see, we got a sleep mode. So we could put on Do Not Disturb and everything. Put your watch to work before you nod off. We got a sleep chart, sleep tracking, get bedtime reminders and wake up sounds. We can wind down with music, with a meditation app or dimming lights. We wake up, charge and recharge. If your battery is below 30% near bedtime, you'll get a reminder to charge. Charge after waking up, you'll get an iPhone notification when you're at 100% complete. So therefore, it allows It'll send notifications to your iPhone saying you need to charge your watch, or when you wake up, it'll let you know, hey, your Apple Watch fully charged. Pretty cool. We got sleep in the health app, so that integrates with that as well. Fitness, new feature workouts. See all our data. We compete with other people. Cycling and maps. So this will probably link to the Google Maps app, and with cycling routes, everything. Nothing too exciting and everything. Hand washing. I guess they made that just for like the whole coronavirus situation. And it, let's see, has automatic detection. Using its motion sensors and a microphone, Apple Watch automatically detects hand washing and starts a 20-second timer. So apparently, the watch will know when you're washing your hand, which is quite cool. And it'll count you down saying, hey, you should wash your hand for this long, thoroughly, and that's pretty much it. If your watch detects that you want to stop washing your hands early, it'll encourage you to continue for the full 20 seconds. So it's making sure you really stay clean. And it'll remind you to wash your hands when you get home. And maybe I think there's going to be updates. They'll probably make like a little integration where it'll remind you to wash your hands every, I don't know, half an hour or whatever, right? Siri updates, and it has Siri translation on here as well. And it can translate into 10 languages on the watch. On-device dictation, Siri has shortcuts on there. Hearing health. We got charts and graphs based all for that. For Watch OS 7 compatibility, it requires a iPhone 6 or later with iOS 14 installed on any of these following Apple Watch. So a little bit confusing and a little bit more requirements. So basically, in order to have Watch OS 7, you gotta have a compatible iPhone first, because you're still gonna have to authorize the update on your phone first. So you need iPhone 6 or later to be able to download Watch OS 7, and you gotta run iOS 14 on all those devices first. So long story short, if you have iPhone 6 or later, you're good. You're great to go. And these work with the Apple Watch Series 3, which was my old one that I broke, Series 4, and the Series 5, which is the brand new one that I got, and the newest one right now. We don't have any information if there's going to be a Series 6 this year announced, or an iPhone 12, whatever, right? But any Apple Watch Series 2 and 1 will not be compatible. They are too old. So 3 is the minimum requirement. And that is pretty much it for our Watch OS 7. So that, guys, is our first look at the iOS 14 software update, iPad OS, and the Watch OS 7. For the Watch OS, a little bit brief conclusion. Most of the updates is just going to be for watch faces and a bunch of fitness and health apps. For the iPad OS, it's basically featuring the same thing as iOS 14 for phones. Because, again, it's just a bigger screen size. It's just a big iPhone. And most of the main different features is just for your Apple Pencil, adding more functionality to it. And I'm pretty sure they're going to integrate the Apple keyboard to allow more options and customizability. With iOS 14, that's the big one. You got a bunch of different features with cameras, apps, new user interface designs, and a whole bunch of other things. So can't wait to try it out. Usually not a lot of people like the new Apple updates, but however, I feel like as long as I could get rid of some of the new stuff in the update, like the widgets, because I don't see myself using that, we're all good, right? Or getting rid of certain things. So Apple is really letting you customize a lot more of your phone, and it's really adding personalization to another level. This is, I guess, where we can truly feel that we own our phones and we can customize it to the way we like, to our certain preferences. So that is the overview of the iPad OS, Watch OS 7, and iOS 14. I hope you guys enjoyed this super long podcast, right around 40 minutes. If you guys did, please be sure to drop a like down below. Comment as well. Tell me what I missed out or what updates you guys are excited for. Any of the features that you're going to use specifically. As always, guys, subscribe if you haven't done so already. Click that notification bell. Share this podcast with your friends and family. And as always, guys, I will see you guys on the next video, which I think I'm going to have a vlog coming out. Yes, a vlog. So therefore, you guys get an early vlog. Anyways, guys, hope you guys enjoyed the video. And as always, I will see you guys all on the next one. Peace.